Well, folks, hanging out here in Wyoming for this particular backpacking trip, and we're going to take a look at two transformable sporks with the tried and true UCO switch, and this one that I've taken for this trip to test out and kind of put head to head with this Human Gear Gobite Duo setup. So we'll see which one maybe is better suited for you. What are some of the features, some of the pros and cons of each design. Well, folks, welcome back to another video here at the channel. Just hanging out near the lake. Been enjoying this amazing backpacking trip, and just wanted to walk through with you real quick this new spork I got my hands on. It's not new to the market, but I realized that this Human Gear Gobite Duo can actually transform into like a longer spork, which is something that I really like when I'm backpacking. And several of us on this trip have the UCO switch, which is an awesome setup. And just kind of wanted to see what, if any, positives were, negatives, drawbacks, things like that. So I'm going to annotate in a lot of the specs because I don't have them on the top of my head and I kind of forgot to write them down. So I'm just going to annotate those in for you guys. Prices vary, but they're usually between like $5 and $7 on average between the two. So price is, not really an issue. The one thing that you'll notice is that the Human Gear is more compact when folded up by about probably 1.5 inches right there. So that's something to note if you're trying to like stuff it into something or just, smaller footprint in that regard. So the Human Gear just runs on this little track right here. It sits really nice and snug. You just push, they pull out. So now I have a dedicated fork and spoon, or just slide them in the back, snaps snugly into place. And now I've got my longer either spoon or fork spork. The tines are very strong, rigid. They have a little bit of a cut in here on either side, so you could kind of cut some meat or, some food if you had to, and a good bowl. Now on the switch, very similar. You pull that sucker out. Now you are going to get a knife. This model does not come with a knife. I think you can get like a 3-pack set that does have like a knife option. So the serrated blade, so you can use that obviously individually. They will be separated longer. You're going to get more reach than when these on the Human Gear are separated. And then we swap these guys in here, lock it into place like that. Very similar. Now this one's going to be opposite, fork going up, spoon going down, whereas the Human Gear just has them both sweeping up. So just kind of more data for you than anything else. And overall, the UCO is going to give you probably about another 2 inches of reach overall. Again, I'm just annotating in for you guys the lengths. Weights seem very similar. Polymers seem very rigid, good and all that aspect. I would say this basically, this is my feeling on it, is that the switch is a little harder to clean because you have all of these grooves in here. You have the holes. It just tends to kind of collect gunk, particularly out of like your backpacking meals when you're trying to use it as like a spork like this. Not a huge deal killer, it just takes a little bit extra to clean. The Human Gear does tend to collect a little bit of grit here, but there's not any holes or like writing. A lot of times you'll get like spaghetti sauce or something in the words of the UCO. There's none of that for the Human Gear to kind of worry about. But I mean, it's really pick your poison, and do you need a serrated knife? Obviously the switch is gonna work a little bit better for you, but I think the Human Gear is a good option, and I think it is slightly easier to clean when you're on a backpacking trip, and a dishwasher, and a sink are not readily available. So just a little bit of data for you guys. We'll have links for you below, whichever one connects with you. Love to hear your guys' feedback, questions that you may have on either of these two little sporks. We do appreciate it when you do use those hyperlinks if either of these connect with you and you're needing, one of those more elongated transformable sporks. So you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for checking out this particular video. Subscribe if you're not a current subscriber. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Check out the other video popping up, and always remember, stay equipped, stay prepared, and we'll see you out there.